News 10.
A deadly crash investigation in Virginia Beach. What we know so far from investigators. Plus,
we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of second-degree murder.
The now convicted man in a Chesapeake murder trial heads back to court. We'll tell you why. And a new update on the victims of a deadly plane crash in North Carolina. Starting with a look outside. Good evening. I'm Aesia Toliver. Thanks for joining us on this dreary Sunday. Heavier rain is starting to push into Hampton Roads now. Here's a live look from Tower Cam 10 over downtown Norfolk. Meteorologist Jeff Edmondson is tracking it all. Jeff, how much rain are we looking at here?
We're going to get about a ½ inch tonight, but we're going to see this rain really move in the next couple of hours. We're starting to see some spots where we even have a couple thunderstorms right now on Super Doppler 10. And also, it's been a cool day today. 40s right now across our area. So we have the cool temperatures, but when we look at radar, you can see the motion of the storm system. The heaviest rain right now off to our west, but we have a few zones ahead of it, like I was expecting, that are starting to move through the area. Throughout the afternoon, you may have seen a little bit of mist or drizzle. We're seeing some of the heavier showers popping up now around Williamsburg and into Gloucester. Not too much, but just a little bit of that activity. I'm also watching this cell right here that's near Emporia. No thunder with it, but there has been some thunderstorms around our region, specifically across the Outer Banks. There's been some offshore thunderstorms. There's one right here, and there was one that went over Hatteras Island just a little bit ago. So there's a couple chances for some thunderstorms with the leading edge of this line moving in. Bigger storms down to our south, tornado warnings right now in parts of South Carolina. So they're getting the severe weather. I'm not expecting severe weather for our area. We could get some thunder with it, but all of what we're really going to get is this just steady rainfall that's coming from those leftover thunderstorms down to our south. It'll fill in across Hampton Roads for tonight. We'll have plenty of rainfall at 10. It'll be heavy at times overnight tonight, and then into tomorrow morning it does start to wrap up. So plan on showers, maybe a little thunder for tonight. We'll have more on that full forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Just into the WAVY newsroom, a tragic situation in Alabama. Officials confirm 2 people are dead after tornadoes touched down today. Now, this is according to the Lee County Emergency Management Agency. Our NBC affiliate in the area spoke with a family in Beauregard. They say an 8-year-old girl is among the dead. Officials say they are still assessing the damage and injuries. Now, in this video, you can see an overhang sign collapsed on the road. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you any updates as we get them. Now to developing news in Virginia Beach. Police have yet to identify the victim in a deadly overnight crash. It happened around 3:30 this morning on Providence Road near New Market Drive. Authorities say 2 cars were involved and 1 adult died at the scene. 10 on your sides, Tamara Scott talked to neighbors. Tamara, what did they have to say?
Well, right here behind me is where the accident happened at this intersection, and today when you come out you can still see some of that caution tape and skid marks still left on the grass. Now, police say that they're still investigating this, but neighbors that we spoke with say that this is pretty much a shock for their neighborhood here. Police say it was around 3 this morning when they responded to the 4800th block at the intersection of Providence Road, where they say 1 person was involved in the accident who was pronounced dead on the scene, and another adult was sent to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Police or neighbors I spoke with off camera say the sound of the crash woke them up this morning, and they were surprised to come outside to find such a terrible scene, especially because they say they never really see any accidents on their street. Now, the roads this morning, they were closed for several hours, but they are opened up right now. Police say that they are still investigating the crash, and we'll keep you guys updated online and on air. In Virginia Beach, Tamara Scott, 10 on your side.
Thanks, Tamara. Now, looking ahead to tomorrow, a former Chesapeake security guard will find out how long he'll spend behind bars for murder. On Friday, a jury found Jonathan Cromwell guilty of second-degree murder in the death of Jiansheng Chen. Prosecutors argued Chen was playing Pokemon Go when Cromwell shot him in the Riverwalk community in 2017. However, the defense argued Chen used his car as a weapon, so Cromwell shot him in self-defense. Cromwell's family and lawyers didn't say much as they were leaving the courthouse.
I don't think it would be appropriate for me to comment yet because the case is still underway. But I intend to come back Monday morning and fight as hard as I can for Jonathan, just as I've been doing the last 2 weeks.
Cromwell could spend anywhere from 8 to 45 years in prison for his crimes. Look for any updates on WAVY News 10 at midday tomorrow or on wavy.com. And a follow-up to a deadly plane crash in North Carolina. Police now say 3 people died in the crash on Friday. The plane came down in Franklin County about 40 minutes outside Raleigh. The sheriff's office says a man and 2 women died. The Cessna C-182 took off from Triangle North Executive Airport. It was heading for Hilton Head, South Carolina at the time. Authorities found the plane wreckage in a pond. And still ahead at 6, hitting the pavement for One City Marathon. Here, one runner explained the hardest part of the race. Plus, more options for travelers in and around Hampton Roads. We've got details on the expanded Amtrak service starting tomorrow.
From the station on your side, you're watching WAVY News 10 at 6.
Tomorrow, there will be a big celebration for the first expanded Amtrak train service from Norfolk. Officials will be at a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new train that leaves at 9 a.m. This is in addition to the 6 a.m. train that leaves earlier in the morning. The new train provides more flexibility for people who want to take the train to Richmond, D.C., New York, and Boston. The train station is next to Harbor Park in downtown Norfolk. And if you're looking for work in Hampton Roads, mark your calendars. The City of Newport News is co-hosting a regional job fair this Tuesday. It's to celebrate the dedication of the 4 Oaks Day Service Center on Warwick Boulevard. The new service center on the peninsula was built to help support homeless adults and families. Representatives from Amazon, McDonald's, Smithfield Foods, and more will be there. The job fair runs from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Tuesday. And still ahead, a follow-up to this scary crash in North Carolina. Details on the charges filed against the bus driver. Runners on the peninsula laced up their sneakers today for the One City Marathon. Participants ran 26.2 miles through different neighborhoods in Newport News. Wish I could do that. It started at Newport News Park and finished at the Newport News Victory Arch. There was also half a marathon and a nautical mile fun run for the kids. We spoke with one runner today who says he usually just runs for fun, but he did this race 2 years ago and wanted to do it again.
Well, you know, it's fascinating because they said it's 26.2 miles, and that seems to go along through about 25, and then that last mile is like 4 miles long.
He says the enthusiasm of the crowd cheering the runners on was great. This was the 5th year of the event. Today wrapped up the 26th annual McDonald Garden Center Outdoor Show in Virginia Beach. More than 70 vendors were on hand with everything from art to plants, food, and home decor. You may have seen some of your favorite WAVY TV team members out there as well. A diagnosis that was once a death sentence is creating new concerns as people with HIV are living longer. Thanks to advances in medicine, many patients are managing the virus and living into their 80s. But 1 in about every 6 new cases diagnosed now is a person over the age of 50. Men, women, gay, straight, health experts say it's time to have the talk about safer sex.
Step outside the box and, you know, have those conversations with parents, because there's a lot of elderly, single parents and grandparents.
Older people with HIV also have to consider how managing it could interfere with other age-related conditions and medications taken to treat them. You'll see what those new challenges look like through the eyes of a Portsmouth man in our special report, The Graying of HIV, tomorrow night on WAVY News 10 at 6. In a follow-up, police cited the driver of a school bus that crashed into a building in Charlotte with kids on board. 35-year-old LaShondra Williams was cited for failure to maintain lane control. According to police, the bus left its lane and hit a car stopped in a turn lane on Thursday. The bus ran off the street and crashed into a condo, causing a lot of damage. Police say no serious injuries were reported. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper is urging residents to be ready for severe weather. Severe Weather Preparedness Week kicks off tomorrow across the state. This is the time to make a family emergency plan and create an emergency supply kit. The Tar Heel State has an active tornado and severe thunderstorm season in the spring. Last year, the National Weather Service recorded 20 tornado touchdowns. There were also 184 flooding events across the state.
Now, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with meteorologist Jeff Edmondson.
Well, we've seen a lot of clouds throughout the day today, a little bit of light rain, some drizzle across our area, but more rain is expected for tonight, and it looks like it's going to come in with that line that's just off to our west right now. Super Doppler 10, you can see where the clouds have been throughout the day. It's been overcast. If you were out early enough, you may have seen a little sunshine across Hampton Roads. I saw a touch of it. It was nice. We'll have more of it this upcoming week, so don't worry about that. There's a lot more dry weather, sunny days ahead. But what we have right now in Super Doppler 10 are just a few scattered showers across the peninsula, also the eastern shore. I'm really seeing this starting to blossom here across our area. If we had more sunshine today, we would have had more thunderstorms and heavier rain right now. But with the clouds and the cooler temperatures, thunderstorms are pretty unlikely to have for tonight, but they are possible. Here's a look at what's happening across Hampton, also across the south side right now. Just to the west of Suffolk, we have a little batch of heavier rain that's going to move right over Wakefield here shortly, and you'll probably get a little bit of that rain coming through Smithfield here soon too. The Outer Banks, some thunderstorms across Hatteras Island earlier. Most of them are offshore right now, so not causing too much of a trouble, but I'm watching those. But overall, this is our picture. We're pretty quiet in this sector here. We'll see scattered showers off and on for the remainder of the evening and going into probably around 8 or 9 o'clock, and then after that point we'll start to tap into this heavier rain that's just off to our west. That's just starting to move into Raleigh too. So look at this. Tornado watches right now in place, several tornado warnings on the map. We saw that report earlier from Alabama of some deadly tornadoes. Unfortunately, it's horrible to hear that. But there's some severe weather happening just down to our south. We're not going to see the severe weather across Hampton Roads, but it's closer by though. So I'm watching the storm system very closely because that's the bullseye for where the severe weather will be for the rest of the night. This area of light green, this means that general thunderstorms are possible, not expecting severe weather. So we could get a clap of thunder here or two. We already had one about a week or two ago. We had some thunder move through the south side, but maybe possible tonight too. The warmer air is where we could see thunderstorms. That's why we've seen some storms in Hatteras today. We're at 46 degrees. There's not enough warmth. We need that ingredient to create the thunderstorms. We don't really have that in place right now, so that'll prevent the severe weather. 40s right now across our area, 45 in Newport News. We're at 46 in Norfolk and 45 also in Hampton. Chesapeake 47, so about the same. Here's a look at the rain for tonight. Scattered showers the next couple of hours. I'm really watching this band of heavy rain, and it's trying to move in kind of slow. So we'll move in and it'll arrive in Williamsburg close to 10 o'clock and into the rest of the south side cities around midnight. And we'll get some decent downpours as this moves through overnight. It should wrap up by tomorrow morning. This is at 8 a.m. and it's gone. We'll have some low-level clouds still in the morning, and then we'll see some clearing skies with some afternoon sunshine for tomorrow. Strong northwesterly winds tomorrow. It's getting colder. Total rain that we'll get tonight, about a ½ an inch is what I'm counting on, maybe even a little bit higher in Currituck. So a good chance for some rainfall tonight, and then we're going to dry out for the next couple of days. So tomorrow, 49 degrees in Kill Devil Hills, 50 for Chesapeake tomorrow, upper 40s though for a lot of spots, 52 degrees in Williamsburg. Winds will be from the northwest at 10 to 15, and there's your 7-day. We're looking at temperatures in the 40s and only 30s Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday at 48. It does warm up a little bit late next week. We spring forward on Sunday next weekend.
Still ahead, defending the president.
I am not the national security decision maker. That's his view.
What Trump administration officials are saying about the death of Otto Warmbier and Kim Jong-un's involvement. Plus, a car slams into a crowd of people in New Orleans, killing 2, who authorities have in custody, and his connection to the police department.
From the station on your side, you're watching WAVY News 10 at 6.
National Security Advisor John Bolton is calling on North Korea to explain what happened to Otto Warmbier. Warmbier was arrested for allegedly stealing a political sign from a Pyongyang hotel. The former UVA student died just days after returning home from North Korea. This week, President Trump said he supported dictator Kim Jong-un's stance, where Kim maintains he knew nothing of Warmbier's worsening condition. Bolton defended Trump's stance and says his own opinion doesn't matter.
The fact is, the best thing North Korea could do right now would be to give us a full accounting of what happened and who was responsible for it.
Do you take Kim Jong-un at his word?
The president takes him at his word.
No, I know he does, but what about you?
My opinion doesn't matter. My opinion is that I'm the
national security advisor of the president.
Right,
your opinion matters quite a bit.
I am not the national security decision maker. That's his view.
In a statement, Warmbier's family addressed President Trump saying, quote, Kim and his evil regime are responsible for the death of our son Otto. No excuses or lavish praise can change that. Still ahead here at 6. Details on the massive explosion that rocked a rural Missouri town overnight.
From the station on your side, you're watching WAVY News 10 at 6.
Rain is starting to move into Hampton Roads, and it's sticking around for the night. We're joining meteorologist Jeff Edmondson in the Super Doppler Weather Center. Now, Jeff, how much rain are we talking about?
It's going to be quite heavy overnight. We could get close to a ½ inch, maybe even more for some spots because of how this rain is moving in from the west. It's coming from some thunderstorms that are happening right now down to our south in Georgia, Alabama, and even parts of South Carolina. Here's a look at the view outside Virginia Beach Town Center. It's pretty quiet right now. We've seen some drizzle throughout the day, and temperatures did top out at 50 degrees in Norfolk and also Chesapeake today. 52 in Elizabeth City. Manio made it down to 60, or made it up to 60, and it was even warmer than that. Cape Hatteras at 60 degrees right now in Cape Hatteras. So warmer air just down to our south, and that's what's helping to develop some storms down to our south. We're not seeing the warmth, though, across much of Hampton Roads, so it's going to keep us with more just general rain. Maybe some thunder and lightning, but it's a really, really small chance for that tonight, though. The air is just a little too cool. If the temperatures are above 50, I would say that the chances are higher. It's kind of the magical number for thunderstorms. If it's above 50, the chances start to increase. But right now across Hampton Roads and across the Middle Peninsula, Gloucester, you have some bands of heavier rain that are developing, and I'm seeing some little pockets of some heavier showers that are going to move across the peninsula into Suffolk. Now we're starting to see that development across the south side into Portsmouth, and even for Chesapeake too, into Deep Creek. Looks like we have some those heavier showers, and also around Great Bridge, some of those little pockets of rain that are developing. So more and more of this will happen and develop over the course of the next few hours. Around Cape Hatteras, some thunderstorms that are offshore, not seeing anything over the island right now. Here's the main line of thunder and lightning and heavier rain, big storms and some severe weather right now in central portions of South Carolina, where there's still one tornado warning that still stands. But for us, we're just going to see waves of light rain for the next few hours and then steady, heavy rainfall moving in around midnight tonight, and that'll continue into early tomorrow morning. It should wrap up, though, by sunrise tomorrow. We're looking at a good amount of rain. Here's some just a few of the rain totals that we'll see tonight. Norfolk, around 6/10 of an inch, more than a ½ an inch in Newport News, and Elizabeth City, you could get more than an inch of rain tonight. So a lot of rain coming up for our evening and overnight hours. That'll be the peak there. It'll start to wrap up tomorrow morning. I'll have that full forecast show you tomorrow in just a bit.
Remember, our WAVY weather app helps you keep an eye on the weather anytime and anywhere. It gives you watches or warnings, live radar images, and hourly forecasts. Now to breaking news update out of Virginia Beach. Police charged a woman in connection with a deadly overnight crash. It happened around 3:30 this morning on Providence Road near New Market Drive. Authorities say 2 cars were involved and Felicia Paris died at the scene. Within the past hour, police announced they've charged Caitlin Emmett Wallace. 10 on your side's Tamara Scott is following this breaking news. Tamara, what new details have you learned about the investigation?
Well, police have just announced that this crash was the result of driving under the influence. It was Felicia Parrish who died at the scene as a result of her injuries in the crash. She was in the Toyota sedan that was involved in the accident. The woman driving the Chevrolet sports utility vehicle was 22-year-old Caitlin Emmett Wallace. She's charged with driving under the influence, maiming as a result of driving under the influence, as well as involuntary manslaughter. Now, right now, she is being held under no bond at the Virginia Beach Sheriff's Office Correctional Facility. She was treated for minor injuries at a local hospital. A second adult female is also being treated and is considered in critical condition, being treated for her injuries, as well as the driver of the sedan treated for minor injuries. We'll keep you guys updated on this investigation as it continues on air and online. In Virginia Beach, Tamara Scott, 10 on your side.
Thanks, Tamara. The son of a New Orleans police officer is accused of driving into a group of people, killing 2. Authorities charged 32-year-old Tashanti Tony with multiple counts, including vehicular homicide. They think Tony was impaired when he drove into the people on a busy New Orleans street. But authorities are still waiting for the results of a blood alcohol test. The accident appeared not far from one of the city's biggest Mardi Gras parades.
Everything is still under initial investigation as to the individual that is being arrested right now, where he was going, where was he coming from, as well as our victims. Where were they going, where were they coming from?
New Orleans police report many of the victims were bicyclists. 5 were taken to the hospital and 1 person refused treatment. A 9th victim did not seek help at the scene, but later went to the hospital on their own. A gas pipeline explosion rocked a community in northeastern Missouri. Flames were shooting sky high when rescue crews arrived overnight. Now take a look at this video from the sheriff's office in Audrain County. The pipeline is about 2 hours west of St. Louis. It took about 40 minutes for the flames to die down once the supply was cut. The blast shocked neighbors.
I've never heard something that loud before. It shook everything inside of me. I mean, literally sat me back in my seat.
Deputies say there are no reported injuries. A woman died after being crushed by a boulder while hiking down a trail in Utah this weekend. The 37-year-old was with her husband and a friend when the accident happened on Stansbury Island. Witnesses say she was standing on the rock when it suddenly moved and trapped her foot. She then fell forward and the rock somehow rolled on top of her. The sheriff's office believes the weight crushed her to death.
4 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot thick. It's way too heavy. They've had 3 or 4 people try to move it off of her at one time and they couldn't budge it.
Rescue crews are able to recover the woman's body overnight during heavy snowfall. Investigators have not released her name but say she's from the Salt Lake City area. Crews removed the wreckage of a small banner plane that crashed into a Florida condo building. The pilot was killed when the plane slammed into the building in Fort Lauderdale on Friday afternoon. The plane punched a hole in the building, toppling a dishwasher in one of the condo apartments. Debris fell into the pool area, but no one was hurt. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused the crash. Still ahead, battle on the front lines with ISIS. How U.S.-backed forces are trying to take back a terrorist stronghold in Syria. Plus, we've officially reached a new era of space exploration. After a 27-hour journey, what's next for a capsule designed to carry humans?
From the station on your side, you're watching WAVY News 10 at 6.
The USS Charleston was commissioned this weekend in South Carolina. More than 5,000 people came out Saturday to watch the ship get commissioned by the Navy. This is Charleston's 6th namesake ship. All of the previous ships that bear the name have been decommissioned. The USS Charleston will operate as a mine warfare ship which can detect and destroy mines. The ship's 72-man crew says that they are ready to set sail and serve our nation. The Argentine Coast Guard opened fire on a Chinese vessel overnight. Officials claim the vessel was illegally fishing in its coastal waters. Officers aboard the Argentine vessel are heard warning the Chinese ship to withdraw. When there's no response, machine guns are heard in the background firing multiple rounds. After a 3-hour standoff, the Chinese fishing boat retreated towards international waters. Social media videos reportedly show airstrikes targeting ISIS in its last stronghold in Syria. A U.S.-backed force, closed in on the last patch of ISIS territory near the Iraqi border. The videos said to be shot from a nearby town yesterday show an explosion and smoke. The Syrian Democratic Forces say they expect, quote, decisive battle for the area today. Capturing Baghouz will be a milestone in international efforts to roll back the jihadists. Severe flooding has claimed the lives of at least 20 people in Afghanistan. Officials say floodwaters destroyed homes and cars in the Kandahar province. At least 10 people are missing, and up to 2,000 homes suffered damage. And this year alone, authorities say close to 50 people died due to flooding in the country. Heavy snowfall in parts of Afghanistan has more fearing what could happen when it melts. Coming up, a world-famous dog race is underway right now in Alaska, but not everyone is happy about it. Hear PETA explain why. Just into the WAVY newsroom, more details on a tragic situation in Alabama. Officials are reporting at least 3 tornadoes touched down this afternoon. Emergency management officials in Lee County says there are 2 reported deaths so far. Our NBC affiliate in the area spoke with a family in Beauregard. They claim an 8-year-old girl is among the dead, but didn't specify what happened. Officials say they are still assessing the damage and injuries. In this video, you can see an overhang sign collapsed on the road. This storm system is stretching across multiple counties. Hundreds of dogs and their handlers are running in the 47th Iditarod Trail Sled Dog Race. The event began with a short ceremonial sprint along snow-covered streets in Anchorage, Alaska. Hundreds of spectators had an up-close look at the 52 musher dog teams as they geared up. The teams will cross 2 mountain ranges, a frozen river, and dangerous sea ice. But not everyone was there to support the race. PETA held a large protest.
PETA is calling for a permanent end to dogs in the Iditarod. Dogs are not snow machines. They get sick on the trail. They suffer from bleeding stomach ulcers, bloody paws, heart attacks.
PETA claims 150 dogs have died since the start of the famous Iditarod race. But organizers say there are no records of any canines dying during the event. Now to an unusual contest in England, the 12th annual wife-carrying race in Dorking. The first 5 pairs to cross the finish line will qualify to compete in the World Championships. Wife-carrying first originated in the United Kingdom more than 12 centuries ago when Vikings invaded. The men stormed through coastal English towns and would carry off local wives. The World Championships are this July in Finland. And some big names were on the field with the U.S. women's soccer team in Nashville. Names like Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Cardi B, and of course the Queen, Beyonce. Each player had a different name on the back of their jersey during their match. The players each chose to honor a famous woman who inspired them to greatness. Some of the other iconic names on the jerseys included Mother Teresa and tennis stars like Serena Williams. SpaceX's new crew capsule arrived in the International Space Station today, acing its 2nd milestone. No one was aboard the Dragon capsule when it launched yesterday in its first test flight to space. But that quickly changed once the hatch swung open and the space station astronauts floated inside. The Crew Dragon is the first American-made, designed for crew spacecraft to pull up to the station in 8 years. It will stay at the ISS until next Friday, when scientists say it will make a retro-style splashdown into the Atlantic Ocean.
Now, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with meteorologist Jeff Edmondson.
Well, it was really cool to see the astronauts inside the new capsule. They just have to get through that re-entry phase with that new capsule since it hasn't officially been tested on re-entry into Earth, and then all things will be good to go, hopefully, for astronauts to fly in it in the coming summer. Outside right now, Virginia Beach Town Center, we're looking at a lot of clouds. We're not seeing much rainfall at the moment. There is some rain, though, across parts of Hampton Roads. I'm seeing some of these scattered showers that have been moving through the area, developing. I'm not seeing anything too scary looking or anything too intense, so that's good for this evening. But just some light rain coming down around the Middle Peninsula through Gloucester, also stretching all the way to the eastern shore. This rain continues through the peninsula and across parts of the south side, where it is a bit heavier right now, just south of Wakefield. So you'll see some areas of heavier rain coming through Wakefield here shortly, also around Smithfield and into Windsor. Into Portsmouth, just a few of those showers. Looks like it's around the Churchland area and also kind of the Harborview zone of Suffolk. But further down to the south is where we have a little bit more of that energy, a little more heat, and also some thunderstorms. They're offshore right now, but they have been moving over Hatteras earlier into the night. So that's kind of what we have going on right now. This sector here, this is all going to be the scattered showers. And then this zone here is all of the steady heavy rain, and this is what's going to move in overnight. So what do we have going on? What's the timing of this? Well, right now what's going on is there's some severe weather happening. Tornado watches, some tornado warnings right now. You can see one right here just north of Charleston. There's several more down here across the panhandle of Florida all the way towards Panama City. It looks pretty intense with that line of severe weather that's been happening. And there has been some significant damage and a lot of tornado reports that we've seen reported earlier in the newscast that there were some fatalities too in Alabama from these tornadoes. So very scary. We're not seeing the severe weather for our area though, not from this round. We're just seeing some rainfall for tonight. Some heavier rain will come in as the storm system moves into the area. There's the center of the low. There's actually 2 of them. The warmer air in our sector, we're still cold, but it's been warm across North Carolina. And then much colder air moving in behind the storm system. And that's what we'll have for the upcoming week, that colder, dry air. So we won't see rain in the forecast. We'll see a lot of sunshine. We just have to get through tonight. Here's a look at our future track for overnight. We're seeing some of those heavier bands of rain setting up around Gloucester, Williamsburg, close to 10 o'clock, and then that line continues its push further to the east overnight. So we'll have some downpours coming down around Hampton into Virginia Beach around midnight tonight, and we'll have that continue into the early morning hours. 3, 4 a.m. it starts to wrap up across many areas. It should be gone by sunrise tomorrow. So by 7 or 8 o'clock, we should be looking dry. We'll still have a lot of clouds in the area, but I'm not expecting any more rain for tomorrow. We'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day, and then just cold, windy weather will be the theme for tomorrow. Wind speeds tomorrow In the morning, they'll be at their peak into the afternoon. They'll actually start to subside. It won't be that windy in the afternoon, so that'll be good. But temperatures, though, will be a little bit cooler than average. 40s and 50s. We'll hope for that sunshine for much of the day, but expect those clouds early on as we start to dry out. Your 7-day forecast has temperatures only at 40 degrees on Tuesday. That's way below average for this time of year. Look at Wednesday, only 37 with lows in the 20s. So we have some colder air on the way. No snow. We're looking at more rain, though, Friday and maybe Sunday next weekend.
Well, the high school basketball state playoffs continue tomorrow. We're going to let you know which area teams are still in the hunt. And behold, the green and gold Norfolk State celebrates a MEAC regular season title. That's next on the Sports Wrap.
Sponsored by Cox, bringing us closer.
NASCAR in Las Vegas, a new aero package introduced today, and not sure if they accomplished what they wanted. Not a single caution, very uneventful race. Joey Logano held off teammate Brad Keselowski for the win. It's Logano's first win at Vegas and number 22 overall for his career. I'm Brian Parsons. Last night at Joe Eccles Hall, Norfolk State made a statement. The Spartans manhandled Coppin State 72-38, and in doing so, clinched the MEAC regular season title. With 2 regular season games remaining, NSU is 13-1 in conference play. Now, the regular season title means Norfolk State will be the top seed at the MEAC tournament later this month at Scope. This is the Spartans' second regular season title. They won it in 2013 after an undefeated regular season, but lost in the MEAC tournament. Now, while Coach Robert Jones likes having the MEAC tournament in his own backyard, he says it also puts a little heat on his guys.
It's better not to travel, but I think also it puts a little added pressure on these kids sometimes. So we try to treat it as much as a road game as we can. You know, we'll stay in the hotel, we'll do all the stuff that we do on the road instead of just staying in the dorms or at our houses. So, you know, there is a little added pressure, you know, because I tell everybody all the time that we might be the home team, but we don't play in the Scope. So we're there playing on those rims like anybody else, but it does feel good to have a, great crowd support for the Scope.
Now, if Norfolk State can add a MEAC tournament title to its regular season championship, then the Spartans would return to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 7 years. If not, NSU would have to settle for an NIT bid. The Big South tournament tips off this week. Hampton University is seeded 8th and opens up play Tuesday against Longwood. Now, the Big South plays its tournament games at school sites, so Hampton actually hosts its opening round game. Led by the hot-shooting Jermaine Merrow, Hampton is playing its first season in the Big South, and the Pirates have won 4 games in a row. William & Mary is the 4th seed in the CAA tournament, which gets underway this week in Charleston, South Carolina. The Tribe have won 5 in a row and have a first-round bye. They open play a week from today against 5 seed Delaware. William & Mary, we've heard this story a million times, one of 4 original NCAA teams to never make the big dance, but I think this could be the year, led by big man Nathan Knight. He's the first player since Tim Duncan to average 20 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks a game. Coach Tony Shaver's team is definitely peaking at the right time. Well, the high school basketball state playoffs resume tomorrow. 6 boys teams and 4 girls teams playing in state semifinal games from the area. In Class 6, an all 7-5-7 showdown tomorrow when Lansdowne takes on Oscar Smith. Tomorrow's game is a rematch from last week's 6A region championship game that was won by Lansdowne. Now, neither team has won a state championship in basketball, but they've been close. Oscar Smith most recently lost in the state championship game 3 years ago. Lansdowne lost in the title game 5 years ago. Tip-off tomorrow at 7 at Kellum. Also tomorrow, the Maury Commodores take on Varina in the Class 5 state semifinals. Maury won the 5A region title championship, and the Commodores have a storied basketball history, but success in the state tournament has been rare. The last time Maury won a state championship, 1927. Maury against Varina tomorrow at Norview High School. Lake Taylor won the Class 4 state championship last year, and the Titans are back in the state semifinals this year, and they will play Louisa County Tuesday at Churchland. That's been an amazing run for Lake Taylor. Despite finishing the regular season with 7 wins and 14 losses, the Titans are 2 wins away from another state title. In Class 3 boys, Phoebus is red hot headed into Tuesday's semifinal against John Marshall. The Phantoms are 24-2 on the season, and last year they lost to John Marshall in the state quarterfinals. So John Marshall actually went on to win the state title last year. So Phoebus looking to knock off the champs Tuesday at Heritage High School. Also in Class 1, the Surrey County boys are in the state semifinals. Well, on the girls' side, in Class 5, can anyone stop Princess Anne? The Cavaliers have steamrolled their way through another season and are the odds-on favorite to win another state title. Tomorrow, PA plays Highland Springs at Lansdowne High School in the Class 5 semifinals. Coach Darnell Dozier's squad gunning for their 6th consecutive state championship and 10th overall, a true dynasty in Virginia Beach. In the girls' Class 4 state semifinals, it's going to be Lake Taylor against Deep Creek in all Hampton Road showdown. That's at Churchland High School. Deep Creek last won a state girls title in 1982. The Lake Taylor girls have won 3, most recently in 2014. Also in Class 1, the Surrey County girls are playing in the state semifinals as well. I hope you guys like basketball, because that's basically all we're going to have for the next month.
An exciting time right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of rainfall for tonight. The good news is that the rain will wrap up tomorrow morning, so as you're heading to work, assuming that you're not leaving for work maybe at 4 a.m., if you're leaving around 8 a.m., it should be fine. We're looking at temperatures in the 40s, though tomorrow, more sunshine later this week.
Yeah, I'm definitely not looking forward to that cold.
Yeah, it's going to be getting cold out there, only 37 Wednesday.
Ooh, I'm not ready for it. Well, that wraps things up for us here on WAVY News 10 at 6. Have a good evening.